Welcome back. This is Goku7DBZ, and doing something special. Since I got recently a few different things of different categories, I decided I'm gonna nickname this Nerd Pickups because total have about four different figures slash statues, so recent pickups, one game related item, and a couple of comic books from last week. So yeah, I'm nicknaming this, and I've got a backlog of comics to do and a few like special length things of comic book pickups, theme specific series. Total, probably gonna have to do about two related to Spawn comics. But with that said, enjoy the retro wave music I chose in the background. First up though, checking out a couple of Spawn comics are one of the branch off series. Love the cover art as always. When Todd McFarlane's involved, you can always expect the art to be gorgeous. And yeah, this is basically a female Spawn character, which is really cool. That I really love. Love the design and everything. And the art is always superb when it comes to anything related to McFarlane. And then the other one, designed to be like an iconic cover involving Magneto originally. And that's kind of obvious, especially if you know 90s comics. And one of the cool things about some of the ongoing Spawn stuff is you have a character from another series called Haunted. Which is cool that they ended up bringing this character back after quite a few years of being gone. Now for the next thing, looking at a couple of technically figures and stuff that are related to video games. First up, which I've already mentioned before, a pretty cool little pickup I found, which is a Mega Man figure. Special line of Mega Man stuff, and I was surprised when I went to the comic book convention and actually found this at it. It was pretty cool, and in mint condition is nice. And for the price range, it was definitely more than worth it. And as a longtime Mega Man fan, going back to the Super Nintendo, more specifically X, though. One of the other cool, like recent pickups is, of course, Terra, which is, of course, character from obviously a little game called Final Fantasy VI, which was my first Final Fantasy game. Now, this is technically design stuff from a special line of figures for the Final Fantasy Dissidia game for the PSP. Second to last, sadly it's a little dusty, is a special McFarlane Toys figure of the Joker, which I like this actual like suit Joker design. It's specifically from some called The Joker the Criminal, from a specific comic book line. But its design is very similar to that of the Joker from the New 52 era of DC Comics. And then you have picture on the back, and then some of the other figures that were released in this line, including like a Doctor's Fate, which I would love to get my hands on. So it is cool, and the price was very reasonable. Last, something I came across actually, of all places, at GameStop. Another McFarlane toy is another Spawn figure, but specifically it's Gunslinger Spawn. Could not resist this one, because it is beautiful. I'm sure as anybody knows by now that I am quite a big Spawn fan, and have been since the 90s. Mostly since Tom McFarlane is my personal favorite comic book artist of all time. But still, it is awesome the fact that you can actually find a lot of McFarlane toy stuff. Surprisingly, at GameStop, they have an entire thing, at least one of the local GameStops, like an entire shelf thing of nothing but McFarlane toys, which is pretty awesome. Now, last was something I also found at yesterday, actually, at GameStop. I could not believe they did a re-release of celebrating the new Jurassic Park movie. They re-released Tiger Electronics, and it says on it "From the Vault" with the tiger mascot. But yeah, this is a re-release of the original Tiger Electronics Jurassic Park game from, I believe it was 1994 when it was originally released. This is like a complete perfect replica of what the original, of course, games, though if you grew up in the 90s like me, then you remember this. Sadly, the Tiger Electronics stuff was never great. I still have somewhere I misplaced. I still have like an original Lion King. That was the only one I ever really played. I never really got into the Tiger Electronics stuff. Arguably, it was a big hit, though it is some of the worst games absolutely of all time. Though I've seen worse stuff than even some of the Tiger Electronics stuff, like the R Zone. And if you want to know anything more about that little horrible device called the R Zone, check out the YouTube channel Classic Game Room series, now known as Game Room or something like that, publishing for some reason now. But with that said, interesting final little pickup, seeing a re-release from Hasbro of the Tiger Electronics line. Trust me, I saw this on a shelf at GameStop and I was like, what the heck, they actually re-released. Surprisingly, I guess they figured retro, it'll sell. Now, surprisingly, it's not as expensive as you would think. In fact, the price was like the same as it was in the 90s. Like, it's $15 for this, actually, believe it or not. Surprised they didn't charge more. But with that said, I'll see everyone next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. Stay safe. And coming tomorrow, part 1 of the 2-part special, counting down, looking at the top 50 best-selling video games of all time. So stay tuned for that. And I'll see you all soon enough. Peace out, here on June the 14th. Hard to believe it's already mid-June.